All right, my name is Marvin Bays, and I live in Monroe, Michigan, and I shot the deer in Monroe County. Actually, it was in Ida Township, which is near Monroe. And anyway, the first couple of days of gun season, I didn't hunt because it was so windy down there. And I called my son and Daryl, and I told him, I said, Daryl, I'm just not going to hunt. It's just too windy. Well, then, that second night of gun season, his wife was coming out to the house, and well, let me back up a little bit. My son Daryl saw this deer bow hunting, and he saw him 2 or 3 times, but was never close enough to get a shot at him. But he took a picture of him, and I got a picture of him live as well as dead. Anyway, Daryl saw him a couple times, and then he just disappeared, and didn't see him for 3 weeks, a month, something like that. And then that night of the second day of gun season, Daryl calls me up, says, Dad, that big buck is back. I says, okay, I'm going to hunt tomorrow. And so I went out the third day, the 18th. I went out there in the afternoon and got in a ground blind that Daryl's got there on his property. And I was only in the blind about 45 minutes, and here comes the big boy. And he was about 80 yards from me, following a doe, and so I just had a clear shot of him broadside, and I put the crosshairs on him and pulled the trigger, and down he went, and he never got up. He went down right where I hit him. And so my son Daryl was out hunting too, and so I got on my cell phone. I says, Daryl, go get your Polaris. I got the big boy. And so Daryl, he come out with his Polaris, and we, of course, didn't get him weighed, but he was a big deer, heavy. It was all Daryl and I could do to put him in the back of that Polaris. And so then we took him up to the barn and skinned him right away. I've always been told, skin a deer while they're warm. Years ago, I shot a deer up north at St. Helen. I drug him out. I got there. There's an old timer there. He says, got you one, huh? And I said, yeah. And he says, you're going to take him and skin him right away, aren't you? And I said, no, I'm not. I'm just going to hang him. I'll skin him when I take him home. He says, your wife don't like venison, does she? And I says, well, no, she doesn't. He says, let me tell you why. He says, you let a deer get cold with the skin on, that's what gives it that wild taste that a lot of people don't like. He said the oils in their fur and in their skin, when it cools down, it tends to meat, and that's what people don't like about it. He says, you start skinning that deer when it's still warm. And so ever since then, I've done that, and my wife likes venison just as good as I do. So anyway, that's just a story that goes along with deer hunting. I've been deer hunting since I was like 18 or 20 years old, and I've never had an opportunity to shoot a deer like this one. And I feel like I'm 82 years old now, and I feel like I've been very privileged.